Welcome to another holistic aqua farm video. As you can see, I don't know if you could see, but it is raining. It's drizzling a bit, and today we're going to be touring an apiary. We're meeting up with Aqua, and he's gonna take us on an apiary tour, and we're gonna learn about the bees, the honey industry, and all that good stuff. So thanks for viewing, and thanks for coming along for the ride. Alright, somebody. Look who's here. Say hi now, John. Oh gosh.
So long the people and them miss me. Here now. And you ain't bother. You throw my way and then so throw my way and all these videos she throw my way. I here again. Fresh cut. She want to show more. You see? So what you usually do, you observe the flight pattern, right? So if you well observe when we get a little closer, you'll be seeing, see the first hive right here. You'll be seeing a certain amount of bees coming in and a certain amount of bees leaving. Those are essentially the field bees that go out and look for nectar and food and water and that kind of stuff. Right? You can observe your hive flight patterns to get an initial glimpse to check the productivity of the bee. Hi. I didn't realize.
This is Aku.
Hey, how you guys doing? Alright, so let's go. Let me go back. I think we might be able to come outside, but just
No sudden movements.
I will turn. And if we need to exit quickly, just exit quickly. Is anyone allergic to insect bites or bee stings or anything like that? No, everybody here has been stung by a bee at least once in their life, or a wasp or something.
Yeah.
Nobody had to go to the hospital, right?
No.
Alright. Man, you see, the thing is, if just one sting, if you're allergic, could be fatal. Whereas, I've had bees get into the veil and like 25 stings and you're okay. Yep.
That's the Africanized bees.
Yeah.
One sting and that's it, right? One sting, one kill?
If you're allergic. But that's any bee. That's any bee.
Okay.
The thing is with the Africanized bee is not necessarily that their venom or poison is worse than the European or the Italian bees. It's just that in a traditional European hive, you have your field bees, your soldier bees, workers, that kind of stuff. And the workers will come out and attack you if they're aggravated. Whereas with the Africanized hive, everybody is a soldier. So everybody will come out.
Okay.
So it's just the sheer volume of stings.
Okay. I'm in North Korea, but I think everybody is soldiers there.
Right. So. Right? So the bottom box is what you call a brood box or the chamber. Right? That's essentially where the bees live. They have the young lady eggs, the queen resides. That's home. The smaller boxes above are called supers. Right? That's essentially the boxes that you use for honey production, or you could tweak to use for feeders and stuff like that. Normally you won't have a box with that many supers on it, but I came in a few days ago and the hive is at capacity. And the thing is with Africanized bees, they have a high propensity to swarm, right? Which isn't generally good for your bees because you're going to lose a significant amount, right? So what I did, I added some additional boxes just to give them room until I'm ready to go and deal with them. Yeah. So generally, there are The smaller boxes, generally you may have 1 to 3 during flow season, and there's a metal sheet which fits the dimensions of the box, and it acts as a strainer. It's called a queen excluder. So essentially, because the queen is bigger than the rest of the bees, it prevents the queen from going up into the honey chambers. So she's unable to lay eggs. So you don't really want eggs mixed up in your honey, right? It's not going to kill you, but I mean for commercial purposes and selling, I mean you don't want larvae floating around in your honey, right? So the queen excluder prevents the queen from going up into the upper chambers. So essentially they're left exclusively for honey production. Now the bees produce honey, generally speaking, for their food and to make the royal jelly and to feed the young and to feed the queen. What we do is take the excess. So it's no eggs, it's just essentially frames with honey. What I started doing last week, because we are in the I think the 2nd or 3rd week of the rainy season, is starting to feed. So if you look, there are some bottles to the front of the entrance of the hive. I essentially use what we call wet and dry feed. So there are bags of sugar, dry sugar on the inside, and I have the bottles to the front, and the front feeders, that usually has a syrup mixture, and essentially that keeps the hive going during the rainy season.
They just feed off of that.
They feed off of it. You never feed during flow season.
During
Flow season.
flow season.
Yeah, essentially meaning when there's a honey flow and the bees are producing honey, you never feed, because you're going to end up with adulterated honey. Now that the rainy season has begun, I usually feed.
Right,
Because
okay.
what happens naturally is that the colony will reduce its size. It essentially just kill off probably half the bees or some swarm. Abscond is when the entire colony leaves. Swarm is when some of them leave. Right? And they swarm for different reasons. The Africanized bee has one of the highest swarm tendencies of any type of bee in the world. It rain too much, they swarm. The place too hot, they swarm. You wear blue, when they don't like you, they swarm. You look at them with your left eye, they'll swarm. Right?
So, is there any reason why you chose this type of bee over the other?
In Trinidad, that's essentially what has happened. Traditional, what we know as a traditional honeybee, is not indigenous to Trinidad and Tobago. Right? We have 10 varieties of indigenous stingless bees. Now they do produce honey, most of them, but it's not at a commercial level. Our indigenous stingless bees honey is really used as a raw material in many medicines. Actually fetches a way better price than this, but the production levels are smaller.
Okay, so you get that's with these stingless bees. You get less production.
Yes.
But it's
A higher quality honey.
okay.
Right? Our former colonial masters introduced the European honey, and well, they're the main honey producers for the local honey market. So essentially we had Italian honeybees and some other European varieties here. During the 80s and 90s, some scientists in Brazil and Argentina decided to crossbreed some African varieties with some European varieties to get a more robust type of bee. Essentially they ended up with the Africanized killer bee. It dominated Latin America and has come straight up the road, so they are as far as the southern US right now. So what we have in Trinidad is Africanized bees or some hybrid of European and Africanized bee. Right? So in Tobago they still primarily have European honeybees. So for example, with a European honeybee hive, colonies or apiaries, some people have them in their backyards. No issue. They don't even use, I have seen them not use gloves, they may use a veil and that's about it.
That's what
the European honeybee. Because of that, it is this, we are discouraged from bringing bees from Trinidad to Tobago, but you can bring bees from Tobago to Trinidad.
Why is that?
Because they don't want the Africanized colony to basically take over Tobago.
Right, okay.
Because of the aggression level, there's a very strict beekeeping act. You need to be at least 250 meters, I think, from the road and from your boundary and your closest neighbor. Hence, this is at the back of the farm. Yeah, which is good given deforestation. There's a lot of deforestation happening in Trinidad and Tobago, illegal logging.